Okay, so here we have the start to a proof by contradiction. And recall that for a proof by contradiction, our approach is to assume the opposite of our implication. So here, our implication is that no integers n and m exist for which 4n squared minus m squared is equal to 1. So we're going to assume the opposite. So we're going to assume that integers do exist. Okay, well, for what I have here, right, while I could look to go case by case, if I notice for this particular problem, I have a difference of 2 squares. So I have 2n minus m times 2n plus m must equal 1. Okay? And if I'm going to have integer values, what that indicates for me is that therefore 2n minus m must equal 2n plus m, which must equal 1, or 2n minus m must equal 2n plus m, which must equal negative 1, right? Because a product of two positive numbers will be positive, and a product of two negative numbers will be positive as well. So either these could both be 1 or these could both be negative 1 to get to my product of 1. Okay? I'm not going to have 1/2 times 2 to get 1 because I have integer values, and with integer values it would be impossible for one of these to equal 1/2. So let's consider what we have here then. If I have 2n minus m, they both equal 1. So I'm just going to kind of rewrite this to the side. So I have 2n minus m, 2n plus m. They both equal 1. And I'm going to go ahead and sum what I have. And this is going to give me that 4n is equal to 2, which implies that n equals 1/2, which would be a contradiction. Because we said n and m are integers. And this would indicate that regardless of m, n could not be an integer. All right? And if we look at our other case, right, that 2n minus m is equal to negative 1 and 2n plus m is equal to negative 1. If I look to this situation, I'm going to have a similar bit. That I have 2n is going to be equal to negative 2, or excuse me, 4n is going to be equal to negative 2, which would imply that n is equal to negative 1/2, which is another contradiction. All right. So therefore, no integer n m exists for which 4n squared minus m squared is equal to 1. And that's our general approach for a proof by contradiction. Okay? You will get better with practice. The key part for a proof by contradiction is to assume the opposite. Assume the opposite of what you're going to have. All right? Whereas in a direct proof, you're going to say let. In a direct proof, you will say let. In a proof by contradiction, you're going to say assume that this is true. Assume that this exists, and then realize that no, it is impossible for that to happen. Okay? After the first step, everything is going to depend on the context of the problem that you have. If you're not sure where to go and you're able to factor, try factoring. See where that leads you. Okay. I thank you very much for your time.